Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Kayla. I am mum to a now 3-year-old and I'm also a childminder, which is actually what today's video is all about. If you are new, then don't forget to subscribe below and like if you like. I always love to hear from you as well, so do let me know your thoughts if you have any questions, that kind of thing. I love to connect on this platform. So today's video is all about being a childminder. So I don't talk about it very much. I don't even know if that's the right way to say that. Yeah, so I don't talk about it very much in my videos, but I'm always asked about it. I'm always asked why I'm a childminder, how long I've been doing it, what it's like. So I thought I'd just put together this video to kind of answer those questions and just give you a bit more of an insight into what it is like to be a childminder. I know it's a really great option for a lot of mums out there, new mums or mums looking to change career, spend more time at home with their little one, and obviously this kind of job does tick a lot of those boxes. So yeah, I'm going to give you the good, the bad and the ugly, because it isn't all amazing and it's incredibly hard. It's probably the hardest job I've ever done. And yeah, I didn't much realise that when I went into it. So I thought I'd do this video today to give you a real kind of inside peek into what it's like to be a childminder. So yeah, let's go ahead and answer some of those questions I've been asked. So I'm going to start with some of the positives. So the first one is working from home. That is one of the real benefits of being a childminder, working from home, being in your own home. And yeah, I mean, if you like your home like I do, and you are a bit of a home bird, then it is nice to be in your home. It's nice to be able to spend time in your own environment. So not having to go out, not having to commute, not having to be in someone else's home, which is obviously the case if you're like a nanny or something. Yeah, it's just nice to be in your own home. And that is a real benefit for me, especially on a beautiful summer's day, hanging out in your garden. You know where everything is. You can go and get yourself a drink. It's all really relaxed. You answer to yourself. You know, that is a real great benefit. So the second positive is being able to spend time with your child, which was the top reason that I became a childminder. Once I had my daughter Mia, I kind of just wanted, I knew when I left my job that it wasn't for me. It wasn't something I wanted to do forever. If you don't know much about my background, which probably again isn't something I've really talked about, I worked in sales before. I worked in insurance for, I don't know, maybe 10 years. And I kind of went into it with not much experience, and then I studied and worked my way up, and I became really good at my job. But often when you're really good at something, it doesn't mean that you love it. So I was good at it, but I just didn't love it at all. And towards the end, I actually really hated it, and I just knew that it just wasn't for me. So yeah, when I had my daughter, I needed to look into other options. And I never even considered being a childminder. It was actually my sister-in-law who mentioned it. And then it kind of got me thinking. I was like, actually, that could work. Could I do that? And I'd never ever worked with children before. And so yeah, it was a big decision, but it was a great decision. And as I was saying, it's enabled me to spend time with her. She's now 3 and I'm so lucky I haven't had to miss anything. So in that respect, it's been amazing, just being with her every day. You know, it's like being a stay-at-home mum, but just having extra children there as well. So yeah, I'm just effectively a stay-at-home mum, but kind of being paid for it. So I get to be with her every day and play with her and yeah, not miss a moment, and just continue that kind of special time together, really, that bond that we're building in these kind of early years. So that is a real benefit. If you were like me, if you're a mum and you've got a little one and you're thinking, oh gosh, and I want to go back to work, but I kind of need some money, I need to do something, then it may be an option for you, possibly. But I'll go through the rest of my kind of pros and cons, and then you can weigh up the options yourself. Another real benefit is Mia has been able to have Playmates every day at home, which is so wonderful. It's really nice because as she's gotten older, she's built really special bonds with the children that I look after, and she's got some really good friends now, and she really looks forward to playing with them every day. So it's really great because she's got those playmates kind of to offer her that different dynamic in relationships, you know, dealing with peers and all the social aspect, helping her with sharing and independence and communication and building bonds and all those lovely things that we want our children to learn. So it's been great, and she's got, yeah, every day's kind of a highlight for her. When it comes around to Monday, she's always like, oh, are they coming? Are they coming? I'm excited to see them. And they have so much fun together. So that's been a real benefit. I'm so pleased that she's been able to make some good friends, and that I wouldn't change, you know, at all in the world. So another real benefit is flexible hours. When I started out, I was able to choose what hours I wanted to offer, what days I wanted to work, because you're working for yourself, you know, it's my own business. So I kind of make the rules, which is just awesome. So I actually work 4 days a week. I have Fridays off to spend just with Mia and pottering around the house and doing cleaning and preparing for the following week and all that kind of stuff. So that's really nice. But yeah, just being able to work for yourself, choose your own hours, not having anyone to answer to is just wonderful. You know, if you want to work 3 days a week and that works for you financially, that's totally your choice. If you want to work 4 days a week like me, 5 days a week, or if you just want to work kind of mornings, half days, there's always someone out there that can fit that criteria, because every parent and their scenario is so different. There's some parents who just want mornings, and there's some parents that just want kind of 2 days a week. So you can make it fit with your ideal picture, really, your ideal family life, working life. And I love that about working for myself. I love being able to choose my own hours, so that's really awesome. Even though I do work really long days, working 4 days a week is a benefit in itself, so yeah, I love that. So another amazing benefit, which is probably one of my highlights of being a childminder, is just freedom. Freedom to be able to go anywhere that they want to go. So whatever we're learning about, whatever they're interested in, you know, we're free. We're free to learn anywhere and take the learning, you know, to wherever we want to go, whether it's learning about animals in the zoo, you know, whether they want to do lots of climbing, we go to different parks and lots of nature reserves. I mean, yeah, the kind of options are endless, really. Obviously not so much at the moment because of lockdown, we're really limited. We're kind of going for daily walks, and that's pretty much it. But we're happy with that at the moment because we know it's not going to be forever. But yeah, I mean, I know my some friends who have older children, and they're really into space, so they've gone and had a day trip at the Space Centre. You can go to museums if you're learning about art. I mean, the options are endless, and taking that learning in a practical way to a different environment and kind of immersing them in that learning, I think is so amazing. And I mean, to go alongside the whole freedom benefit, we can spend so much time in nature, which I absolutely love. Anyone who follows my Instagram, which is Mimi's Nature Playhouse, you'll know that I love nature. A lot of my play is revolved around nature, and we spend so much time in nature. Even in the winter, we're out probably 1 to 2 hours a day at least. Yeah, so we're always exploring, we're always in nature. We can do that.
It's getting darker and darker.
It is getting darker, isn't it? Do you want to come say hi? Hello, say hi.
Hey,
Do you know who you're saying hi to?
no.
All the people watching my video.
But who watching your video?
Who's watching my video? I don't know. Who do you think it might be? I think Granny's watching it.
Yeah.
Or maybe some other little children like you. Huh?
Maybe Granny watching.
Maybe
it.
Granny's watching it. Oh, okay, off you go then.
This good?
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, darling. So yeah, as I was saying, you can spend as much time in nature outdoors as you want or as little as you want. The way you kind of design your setting, or the way I design my setting and our activities and how daily kind of flow, is completely up to me and the children. So that's really, really cool. So another really great benefit is just all the love and cuddles that I get from my little ones. Some of the, well, one of my children I've had since he was so little, and they've grown up together, and yeah, it's like his second home here, and we have such a great bond and connection, and he can come to me for anything, and I just know him so well. You know, I know him inside out like he's my own child, and yeah, it's just so lovely because there's so much love and cuddles and kind of connections, and yeah, it's just wonderful. Children, there's nothing like children cuddles, is there? There's just nothing like getting sweet little kisses and cuddles from children. So so yeah, that's a really benefit. Just lots of love in the house when we're not having stressful days, and that's really, really nice. So I'm going to go on to some of the things that I find the hardest about being a childminder. And probably the first one is all the emotions that come with children. They're so up and down, and every developmental stage has its challenges. And when you're dealing with more than one, especially if they're the same kind of age, it can just be like chaos in the house. So many emotions, and when children are together, there's naturally going to be conflicts and arguments, and they don't always handle their emotions very well, so there can be lots of pushing and hitting and biting and all of the things that children are kind of learning not to do, and how best to handle their emotions. And yeah, it can just be crazy sometimes. So the battery just died on my camera, so I can't even remember what I was saying, but I think I was talking about emotions and just how crazy it can be with children. So yeah, sometimes that can be really hard, you know. If I'm really tired, if I hadn't had a very good night's sleep, obviously because I'm a mum, I can't always time that very well. Yeah, and I'm not feeling my best maybe, if I'm not on top form, if I'm not feeling too well, or whatever might be the case, it can be really hard to deal with those emotions in the best way and just be there for them in the best way possible. So that's always a challenge. Emotionally it's hard for me, and yeah, emotionally, so many emotions with children, so that can be a real challenge as a childminder, just dealing with that every day in the best possible way. Really kind of takes its toll on you sometimes. If they're having a bad few weeks, it can really take its toll. You're kind of like, oh wow, this is hard. Yeah, so that's something to think about if you're thinking about being a childminder. So another thing that is so hard for me in particular, and I'm sure for lots of mums out there, is the mess. It is so, you would not believe how messy it is. I mean, if you're watching this and you've got more than one child anyway, if you've got 2 or 3 kids, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, it's just incredibly messy. If we're at home a lot of the day as well, if we're kind of in and out of the garden, there's muddy boots, and they stomp them all over the place, so the carpet gets muddy. And sometimes I can turn my back and I'll go in the kitchen and prepare a snack, and then one of the kids might be having a bad day and they've drawn all over the walls, or they've drawn all over the carpet. I mean, I've got endless stains that I haven't been able to get out, you know, from children just kind of taking a chance and doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So yeah, there's, again, my battery keeps dying. This is a useless time to try and do a video. It's not working so well, but bear with me. So yes, the mess is just incredible. The wear and tear on your house, you just look and at the end of the day and there's marks in places, and children kind of bump into things, they'll ram like cars and figurines into things, they hide behind my curtains so they get all their sticky fingers everywhere. Oh yeah, I just never imagined how much mess and wear and tear would kind of occur after being a childminder. So your house just gets a bit destroyed. And because I haven't got the biggest of spaces, my playroom is in our conservatory. It's kind of small, and I've included as much as I can and also as little as I can. but it's still just quite a frustrating space. You know, when we're trying to come in and out of the garden, there's just not a lot of room for like boots and things and coats, and yeah, it just can get very, very messy. And that's hard for me because I love to have a nice kind of organised, clean home. So I do struggle with that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, things like that, it's a bit mad. But if you've got children, you know, I mean, Mia's pretty tidy on her own. With the others, not so much. But yeah, if you've got more than one child, you'll know what I mean anyway. Children are kind of messy. Even if you do it the Montessori way like me, the children know how to tidy up after themselves. But some things just get damaged, and that's just the way it goes. You know, when children are learning and growing, and kind of getting used to how things go, moving around without bumping into things. It's all just part of growing up and being a child. So there's quite a lot of paperwork involved in childminding. A little bit less, I think, than there used to be. But yeah, I still have to do next steps for all the children, observations. I do daily notes so the parents know what we've been doing, and I log photos and videos of their progress. And that all takes time at the end of the day. I don't always have time for it when I'm getting the little one ready for bed. Sometimes it can be 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I've still got to kind of eat, I've still got to prepare for the next day. So yeah, it can be hard to fit these kind of things in. And I don't like to be away from the children or be on my phone too much in the day doing that kind of thing. So yeah, it can be hard to keep up with everything. And then you've got policies and procedures, you've got accident forms, you've got registers to complete, and then there's all the keeping on top of your business and the kind of child protection aspect. There's lots of courses that you need to keep up to date with, like first aid, and safeguarding and all those kind of things. So yeah, it just can be hard to keep on top of it when you're a busy mum and you've got a lot on your plate. So yeah, that's something that I'm finding a rhythm with. I tend to just put things to one side and just leave them and then do everything, you know, in one big bulk, and that doesn't really work very well. It gets a bit messy, and yeah, just trying to keep on top of it can be hard. So it's a lot of organisation involved in childminding. And then you've got to think about Ofsted as well. I'm Ofsted registered, and they do inspect every kind of like 30 months to 40 months. So you've got that to think about. That's actually coming up soon for me. I'm not looking forward to it, I'm not gonna lie. It's not the highlight of being a childminder, but it's a necessity. But yeah, that's kind of one of the not so positive things about it. I don't love that. So another not so positive thing, or just a challenge of being a childminder, is it's really, really hard work and really, really tiring. Getting 3 little people kind of ready and just helping them and being there for them all day, all the tidying, everything. It kind of takes its toll, especially in the winter. If you want to get out like we do and spend lots of time in nature, just getting 3 little people ready is really, really hard work. You know, getting the socks and the gloves and the hats and the puddle suits and the boots and jackets and everything on and off, and cleaning everything, and then making sure you've got everything you need with you, like snacks and food and everything that you could possibly need, first aid kit, all of that stuff is really tiring, especially when you've got a garden like me and they want to get out kind of 2 or 3 times a day. You've got to do that over and over again all through the day, clean up all the mud and everything as well, and then do all the, you know, cooking all the food and tidying away all the plates and the snacks. Yeah, it can be so tiring. I get to the end of the day, I'm like, wow, I'm absolutely shattered. I don't want to do anything else. It's tiring mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's the most tiring job I've ever done. So yeah, not having a moment to yourself either. You don't get a lunch break, you know, by yourself. You can't just go off and kind of chill or meditate or have half an hour lunch just to yourself. You're full on all day, you know, looking out for these little people. And sometimes I can work 10, 11-hour days. So it's really, really tiring. And also it's really isolating as well. if you've got children that are kind of talking and they don't say very much, you can't have conversations with them, sometimes you find it's quite isolating not being able to talk to other adults or children who can speak and have, you know, a full flowing conversation with you. It can be quite difficult through the day just to kind of be speaking to yourself, to be honest, and not getting that back and forth. That can be really hard. So I've made some good relationships with some other childminders in the area. There's one particular childminder who I hang out with quite a bit. So if you're thinking about becoming a childminder, I would get out there and just meet other childminders, see if there's anyone you get on with that you can hang out with regularly, someone that you can go back and forth with questions. And that's just really nice, just have somebody there that understands your point of view, you know, as another childminder. And Instagram's so great, there's hundreds of childminders on there, and I've made connections with quite a lot of them. Obviously I've never met them, but it's still nice just to have someone to chat to. So that would be one of my recommendations. Obviously pre-COVID, and it's really nice for us to just have an adult conversation, to talk about what it's like to be a childminder, to bounce kind of activities back and forth and our frustrations and whatever it is we're going through. It's just nice to have that person to confide in. So yeah, those are my kind of positives and challenges of being a childminder. And yeah, it's a really great job in so many ways, but it is just the hardest job in the world, if you ask me, as a childminder. I love it, but also I find it really, really hard, and some days I don't love it so much. Some days I'm like, oh, this is just crazy, what am I doing? And some days I'm just free as a bird, you know, we're out in the summer all day long, we have picnics, it's beautiful, we have so much fun, and I just thank my lucky stars that I can hang out with my daughter all day every day. So yeah, that's kind of my view on it, that's my insight into being a childminder. So hopefully that was helpful. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe as always, and I will see you in the next video.